Yo, yeah, this is just a video for me. Callum, if you're ever stuck, just come back and watch this video. If things ever get rough down the line, yeah, just come back and review. This is pretty A, just fucking A plus setups. Yeah, this is what I want to see, right? So we've seen gold up very bullish at the moment, and we started to see a big pullback down here, right? We ended the day bearish engulfing, right? So it looks like we were gonna, start coming down bearish. Okay, we had lots of liquidity down here. You can see that all this liquidity down here that had to be swept, which you can see we have now swept it, right? But obviously this is beforehand, yeah. So we had all this liquidity down here. So basically we were looking to take that out pretty much, because we could see that we were moving to the downside, here, right? We started to, after we swept this liquidity, and then we broke structure, right? So what we look for, Callum, yeah, we look for an hour or high time frame sweep of liquidity, right? Usually the hour, or depends if the 4 hour maybe, but as you can see, we swept this liquidity right here, yeah, right there. So that's like boom, right? Okay, we're gonna scale down that. You could also see that we created this doji candle here. I don't really trade. Well, we don't trade off doji, like candlestick patterns, really. So yeah, our sweep of liquidity, right? We then had this V. 1 minute. Where are you? Right, this is where the magic happens. Our sweep of liquidity, boom. We then have an inverse fair value gap here, right? The fair value gap gets inversed in one big candle, right? Which is what it does. One big candle, inverse, boom. Yeah. We also had, we didn't have a breaker structure. We'd like to see a breaker structure, but we didn't. So inverse fair value gap is excellent, right? I'm not going to enter straight off that, just because, yeah, I don't really enter straight off it. I might start maybe, but looking for other complements is better. So we then came up, retested this fair value gap here to then push down, right? And basically on this break is where I would enter, right? Because we've had our push down, inverse fair value gap. We then respected this fair value gap here and pushed down. As soon as we broke this low, I'd enter, right? And as you can see, I didn't take the trade because I wasn't looking, which is long. But as you can see, this would have been a naughty trade because I literally would have been targeting these lows down here. It would have been beautiful, right? It would have been beautiful. Yeah, man. But look at that. It was lovely. I just should have been looking. Yeah, so that's basically it, right? Our sweep of liquidity, inverse fair value gap, break of structure, come retest, boom, back down. We had a really good one on, I know this is probably a longish video now. I can't find it. On NQ, and it's the same sort of same sort of setup, but with an SMT, right? If we have I don't actually know where it is. The 4th. Oh no, it's not. It wasn't the 4th, was it? It was. I think it was Thursday. Yeah, right here. Yeah. Right here. Look, this is again perfect. Look at that. Look at that trade. Boom. Yeah. Look at it. This was like. I can't remember I had it. I think I had it there. I mean, fuck it now. Come on. Ooh. Yeah. This just, it was lovely, right? So it was pretty much the same thing here, right? So we had a sweep of liquidity of these highs here. Wait, here we go. You see, liquidity of these highs here swept. Yeah. I need to stop going. I need to stop doing this because it's only there. Yeah. Sweep of these highs here. I'm gonna do it again. Sorry. Where are you? Where did you go? Right, hopefully that's the last one. Yeah. Sorry about that. I haven't got a mouse or anything, so I wish I could do it, but I can't. So basically, same thing on NQ and ES, right? That's why I like trading those pairs, because SMTs, I like trading SMTs. So yeah, as you can see, we had an SMT here, right here. This is also New York Open as well. So, but I can just never get the time to trade it. But this is what happens when I do actually look at the chart for a while, which I can just never do, which is the problem. So if I had more days to do to check it, like the whole, if I could have an hour or 2 hours from like 1:30 to 3:30 and be able to trade, then I think how I am right now would be completely different. Yeah. Maybe I'm getting ahead over. Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. But yeah. So as you can see, SMT, lovely SMT, right? We inverse this fair value gap here with a break of structure, right? That's what we want to see, yeah. With a break of structure, right? We then create this big opening here, right? Right. We then create this big opening here, right? Inverse fair value gap with a fair value gap as well. We could have literally, we entered off this inverse, right? We entered off this inverse. Also entered the trade again at this breaker block here. Not really how I trade, but yeah. We then saw this SMT basically, and I wanted to enter again. Yeah. So SMT, inverse fair value gap, break of structure. If we wanted to, well, if we were looking, but we could have then entered off this again and then targeted these lows all the way down here, which is where we targeted these lows here. But yeah, that's it. That's perfect strategy. I might upload this to YouTube. I might not. I might keep it for myself. But yeah, that's about it. So yeah, keep your chin up. And if we ever go down a bad path, it's fine. It doesn't matter. Right? Just pay attention. We got it.